With the reenactment season being just around the corner and Military Through the Ages being less than 2 weeks away, I thought it might be a good idea to delve into a side of reenacting which may be a little bit more alien to lots of people, and that is the sort of public interaction. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Adam. I'm an ancient Greek reenactor, a member of the Greek Phalanx, which is the largest ancient Greek group in North America, and one of the actually largest growing in the world. And we have a lot of new members joining us this year, which is absolutely great. And one of our largest events is just a couple days away, that being Military Through the Ages, which is the largest timeline event in the USA. This event literally sees thousands of public participants come and talk to us and interact with us about our different impressions. And that can obviously be a little bit overwhelming for some people, including public and reenactors alike. Now, I can be known as a little bit of a yapper. I quite like talking and chatting and doing all sorts of stuff, and lots of people don't, and that's absolutely okay. And you don't really have to if you don't want to, but if you want to engage with the public and talk about your stuff, which I'm sure most of us do want to do, then I'm hoping that this video can give you a few pointers or sort of suggestions onto how to make that sometimes overwhelming task feel a little bit less overwhelming and try and limit the awkward interactions that we will inevitably have. I want to remind you that passion breeds passion and enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm, so if you were clearly passionate and enthusiastic about what you were talking about, then people are usually passionate and enthusiastic about what you were talking about. And that's something that's really important to remember, is if these people are here at these reenactment events, then they obviously have an interest in the history. That's why they are there. So don't be afraid to talk to them about it. Obviously, some people are very open to communication and asking questions and being chatty, and others aren't. Lots of people, I myself, am far less likely to blurt out a question in a group of people that I don't know than if I do know them. That's sort of where our job as the reenactors in this sort of area are supposed to sort of break the ice a little bit and, you know, not necessarily make all of the pressure fall onto the public, but give them something to talk about with us. I've been to many of these sort of public events and managed to tour around some of the other camps, and you get some camps which are absolutely great and really engaging, and you get some which really aren't. I'm going to give you sort of 2 examples, and hopefully you can see which one's maybe a little bit more inviting for a public member. You approach the ancient Greek camp at MTA, and you see that there's no one really at the front of the camp. And you see the camp's laid out, and there's some guys sat around the fire, and one of them sort of got his arms crossed, leaning back, and he goes, "Oh hey, we're the Greek Phalanx, we represent Greek citizen forces from the 6th to the 4th century BC, let us know if you have any questions." Or you approach the same camp and there's people up the front engaging with people, and when you approach they go, "Hi, we are the Greek Phalanx, we represent ancient Greek citizen forces from roughly the 6th to the 4th century BC. You might be familiar with this in popular media such as films like 300 or games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that sort of Persian Wars era, so maybe battles that you've heard of like the Battle of Marathon, Thermopylae, sort of areas like that. We represent sort of the ancient Greek forces that weren't professionals at that time. They were citizen militia forces who were basically just like you and me, worked a separate job within their city-state, and when war came about, they were called to bear arms, and blah, 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 so on, so on, so on." One of them is very shut off. One of them is a little bit more open. You know, lots of people, if you're enthusiastic, again, people will be enthusiastic back, as opposed to if you're a little bit like, "Let us know if you have any questions," you haven't really sparked any interest in order to make someone have a question. You know, I maybe went a little bit over the top in my example there, but just being a little bit more engaging and chatting and you sort of making the first contact. And that can be hard for us as reenactors. Thankfully, we are wearing armor, which not only looks cool, it almost makes you feel protected from judgment in a way. People can't see you as much. So it almost acts as sort of armor in that sense as well. You feel sort of safer talking to people when you're in it because you're a little bit less visible in a way. At least I find that. And you'll get different people at MTA or any public event. Of course, people are different. People have their own values and their own sort of ways. You have some which are super engaged and super chatty. You have some which aren't really interested and will move on. That's completely fine. And you'll have some that will happily listen to you but don't really want to, you know, add their own flair to the conversation. And all of those are absolutely fine. Of course, people are there for different reasons. People are comfortable with different things, and we just have to respect that. So what I would suggest you do is introduce yourself, introduce your group, give a little bit of background information. We represent 6th to the 4th centuries BC, so if you heard of Athens and Sparta and the other near close to 1,000 independent city-states of ancient Greece, and then delve into something maybe on your kit, or something else in the sort of visible area that you yourself want to talk about. If the people are interested, they will keep listening. If not, they might move on, and it, more importantly, might spark their interest in something that they then ask a question about. For instance, if I start talking about the armour and people start asking questions about warfare, I can then sort of judge where I should take this conversation. They're interested in the military side of it, let's take them that way. Or they're interested in the religious side of it, maybe I should talk to them a little about the religion, or move them on to someone else in our group who's a little bit more familiar with the religious sides of the ancient world. People are different, have different interests, and I think that's sort of where we should try and go, is find where these specific people have an interest in and take them to those places. Definitely don't be afraid to refer them to other people in your group that might know more about this, or if you don't know the answer to the question, explain that, and maybe explain why. If you've put a lot of work and passion into developing this kit, I'm sure you would like to talk to people about it, and if you don't, then of course you don't have to engage the front lines of the event. You can sit back a little bit more in the camp. But if you do want to talk to the public, which for me is one of my favourite parts of MTA, it's really what makes it a star event for me, then I think that be friendly, be open, and be really passionate and enthusiastic, and people will give you the same energy back, and you can spark some really good interaction. Sometimes you'll have gatherings of like 30 people around you from just starting a conversation with one person, which I completely understand can be a little bit overwhelming, and some people aren't comfortable with that, and that is completely okay. But I'm sure we've all had some awkward conversations with people. I'm sure we've also been a major contributing part of awkward conversations with people, and that's really something that we want to try and avoid as much as we can when dealing with public reenactment displays. We want to spark interest in people, we want to be a friendly face, we don't want to be really disclosed, and we want to really encourage them to think about our area of history that we are presenting to them. I hope that you could really tell a difference in that attitude of body language is a massive thing. Are you active, are you engaged, or are you sat back and, if you have any questions, you can let us know. Am I saying that it's a bad thing to ask people if you have any questions? Absolutely not. I think questions invariably spur as you're talking, but you can definitely ask that after you cover a broader area, that it gives them some information that they might formulate questions from. If you're unfamiliar with an era of history and you just see some stuff that you don't really know what it is, then you might not really have many questions that you want to ask. So just to re-summarize this again a little bit, be open to people, be out there engaging with them, introduce like yourself, you're a person as well, a little bit of background information on your time period, and then I'd recommend, sort of swerving the conversation onto something that you yourself are passionate about. Something that you yourself want to talk about. Maybe that is warfare, maybe that's the armour that you're wearing, or the outfit that you're wearing. We're not always armoured. Maybe it's the culture. Maybe you're representing Sparta, or representing Athens, or Corinth, or any of these other different polis. You can sort of talk about the culture of that, or maybe you can talk about all sorts of other elements of the Greek world, or whatever era you're reenacting. But give them something that they can sort of delve in and ask questions about, because lots of people, again, don't feel comfortable asking questions. They don't really feel comfortable in that atmosphere, which is completely understandable and fair. I hope that this video can help any of you guys who are wanting to get into reenactment, or are new into reenactment, or anyone who's just interested in this video. Thanks for watching. I don't know if other people are the same, but for me, I learn a lot when I talk, so I like to talk quite a lot, to some people's despair. Anyways, I hope that this has helped you if you're a little bit nervous about you attending your first reenactment season or first reenactment events. I hope this has given you a little bit of help in that regard, and I hope that you have an absolutely great season. I hope you have some really fun events, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.